everyone, my name is Brianna Romo and I'm here today to talk to you about the negative effects smartphones can have on both children and adults. So my goal today is to inform you, the audience, about the negative effects that high usage of a smartphone can have on both children and adults. So how am I going to do this? So I'm going to share my personal experience with high usage of a smartphone, and I'm going to share with you some research and some statistical data. So yesterday, I forgot to take my smartphone to the restroom with me. I found out we have 257 bathroom tiles. So I'm not the only adult in America who does this. We have all become so reliant on our smartphones for entertainment. Sometimes we wonder, what did Americans ever do without smartphones? So according to the Pew Research Center in 2019, 81% of American adults own a smartphone. That is a 46% jump in less than 10 years. So what did Americans do before smartphones? Board games were more often played instead of games being played on a phone application. Paper books were read instead of books being read on your smartphone, a smart device, or being listened as an audiobook. We had to shape the Polaroid photos for the photo to develop, or take our film to a store to be developed and wait a few days until we can see the pictures. Now our smartphone's an instant click and we can get the perfect selfie or the perfect picture. There was also more physical activity. You can see more kids playing outside and more adults outside than you do now. So here's my personal experience with smartphones. I use my smartphones for the simplest tasks, to remind myself to take my medication, for my grocery lists. So when depression hit me at one point in my life, I decided to take what I like to call a cell phone cleanse. So what was the results of my week-long cell phone cleanse? I noticed everyone around me and how glued they are to their cell phones, no matter if I was at a restaurant, at a store, or at the nail salon. And I noticed that I got more negative feelings when I would use my cell phone more often. So now I would like to share some statistical research and data to raise awareness about what type of negative effects smartphones can have on both children and adults. So here are the general health effects of smartphone usage. So do any of you in the audience feel like you do not get enough sleep? So my husband here is raising his hand. So do you use your cell phone often during the day or before bed? Yes. So according to the World Health Organization in 2019, scientists have reported a change in brain activity and sleeping patterns with smartphone usage. It can cause vision problems as well. Staring at the smartphone for long periods of time can cause visual fatigue, which can affect your balance. And according to Ferdov in 2008, can cause decreased attention spans and especially depression amongst teenagers. So as parents, sometimes we think, well, our kids are at home on their phones. I'd rather them be home than outside, possibly causing trouble. But are we really letting trouble into our homes without even realizing it? So here are the negative effects smartphone usage can have on children. It is now more uncommon for an adolescent to not own a smartphone than it is for them to own a cell phone. So today, 96% of America's youth own a smartphone, according to Pew Research Center 2019. Their schoolwork can suffer. They're now more interested in playing video games and watching YouTube videos. It's hard for them to concentrate on their schoolwork. Cyberbullying has increased since the usage of cell phones. 87% of children have reported seeing online bullying, according to McAfee 2014. Online bullying can lead to mental health problems like depression, suicide, homicide, and eating disorders. So is the smartphone usage contributing to our childhood obesity? Here's a graph showing when smartphones are pretty much non-existent to when this rise of smartphones. You can see the rise in the childhood obesity epidemic. So therefore with all of this information, we should not only be vigilant about monitoring our children's cell phone usage, but we should begin to evaluate how our cell phone usage affects us as well. So here are some of the effects a high smartphone usage is on adults. So do any of you know your best friend or family member's phone number without looking at it? Adrian, do you?
No, I don't.
There we go. So we have become way too reliant on our cell phones. In case of an emergency, in our cell phone we don't have, who are we going to call? We can lack that social interaction with heavy smartphone usage. We've become too accustomed to sending text message or communicating over social media that we are to have too much anxiety to do a phone call. Adults can miss living in the moment. So now we are too busy focusing on taking the perfect selfie or videotaping an event that we are looking at the event through our cell phones instead of enjoying the moment live. So in conclusion, I've done my best to inform my audience, which is you, of the negative effects high smartphone usage can have on our children and adults when research, statistics, and personal experience. I reviewed some of the activities that are more common in America before smartphones, my personal experience, the negative effects of high usage smartphones, how smartphones can affect both children and adults. So please remember, phones should be our friends, not our masters. As the beginning of Luke chapter 16 verse 3 states, no servant can serve two masters. We must pull away from our smartphones, take the time to enjoy the beautiful things God has given us, and take the time to praise and thank the Lord. That concludes my presentation. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope that you all have a wonderful evening.